Hi everybody, I hope you are well. Today's video is about the 10 basic commands every dog owner should know. And the first, and one of the most important, is getting your dog to come to you. Very important, because if your dog is off lead and they won't come when you're called, they could get up to mischief, or worse, they could get in trouble or in danger. So it's very important to teach your dog to come to you when called. So how can you do that? Well, first start off on a short lead. Don't give the dog too much freedom until they listen to you on a short lead. And here you can practice calling them to you. Sky, come. If she comes, your dog comes, give them a treat, a praise. If they don't come, you could use the lead and bring them and show them what you're asking. Once they come to you 100% of the time on short lead, then it's time to practice on a long lead. And again, same process. Have your dog on a long lead. If your dog comes, give them a treat or some praise. If they don't come, bring them in with a long lead. Once you perfected that, the next is off lead. And again, same process. You call your dog to you, Sky, come. If she wouldn't come then, I would have walked off. But obviously, don't do this when there's distractions around. First build up, get that right, and then slowly get closer distractions over time. Next up, number 2 is teaching your dog to sit. Now, teaching your dog to sit can be very handy when your dog's not listening and you need them to stay put. So to teach a dog sit, you can use treats or perhaps just praise, and use your body language to show them what you mean. So I'm going to ask Sky to sit now. Sky, come. Sky sits, good girl. And see how I put my hand back naturally, and then she goes back into that seating position. So I'll show that once more. Sky, come here, darling, good girl. Sit, there we go, good girl, good girl. Okay, number 3 is stay. Stay, again, is very important because that could potentially stop her from being hurt, or at very least, you've got good control of your dog when you get them to stay put somewhere. So to teach your dog stay, what you could do is put your hand out to communicate, I want you to stay there. And you'll say the word stay and then take a couple of steps back. Stay, I take a couple of steps back. You could do it again, stay. Then when she's staying, you can release your hand and call her to you. Come. Good girl, well done, Sky, good girl. And number 4 is teaching your dog to walk to heel. Now this is so important because if you take your dog out for walks and they're beside of you or behind you, it's a nice relaxing walk and your dog's not too stressed as well. But if your dog is pulling to get to every dog or pulling to smell everything, it can get quite stressful. So to teach your dog to heel, walk around, practice in the house first, and if your dog ends up pulling, you'll stop, you'll bring the dog back, turn them around, get them behind you again. This is called the reset. Wait for them to calm and then move on again. And what you can practice is speeding up, is slowing down, is speeding up and stopping, and just get them in the habit of following your pace and your direction. I promise you, if you get this one in, it'll make your life so much more comfortable with your dog. Number 5 is getting your dog to heel off lead. Now this could be very important because you may be going past joggers or skateboarders and your dog's off lead and you want to walk past them with your dog listening to you. Now to do this, you again would call your dog over to you. Sky, come. Good girl, heel. And I'm just showing her where I want it to be. And then as I'm walking, heel, good girl. Now because we've practiced this on short lead and because recall is already good, this is quite an easy thing to put together. But let's say she didn't listen, for example, and she did decide to go in front. Well, you're using your hand as you would the short lead, and you're just bringing them back if they went in front and putting them back into position and then reinforcing what you're asking again. Sky, heel, come on, heel, good girl. Number 6 is teaching the look at me response. Now this one's important because if your dog's totally distracted by something else, you can get their attention back onto you by touching your nose and saying, look at me. So I'll just give you an example of that. Sky, come here, good girl. Good girl, what's this? Sit, good girl. Look at me, Sky, look at me. Good girl, good girl. Well done, good girl. So yeah, you just point to your face, you say, look at me. Once they look at you, you then reward them with either praise or a treat. Okay, and number 7 is teaching the leave command. Now this is also a very important command because there's going to be things your dog is going to pick up and you will not want them to pick up. That could be other people's food, that could be stuff of other dogs on the floor. So to teach the leave, use the word, but say it quite assertively, like leave, like you really mean it. You could even put a bit of body language in there as well. So I'm just going to practice this with Sky at the moment. I'm just going to throw a bit of food on the floor. Oh, she knows not to go for it. She's already thinking. Okay, so I'm just going to tap my foot to kind of show her she can go for it. What's this? Leave, Sky. Leave. You see how my body language and my hand went down? Leave. And then I want to give her the cue that she can actually have it. Go on then. Good girl.
Number 8 is stop. This is necessary in case your dog is doing something you don't want them to do. Here is Sky chewing her bed, and I want her to stop, so I say or you could say stop. If your dog doesn't stop, then your words need backing up with actions by either gently moving them away from what they are doing or putting them in another room so they know you mean it. Number 9 is away. If your dog is near you whilst you are eating, exercising or cooking and you don't want them around, say away. If they do not move away, again, move them away so they know what you mean. Number 10 is off. If your dog is somewhere they shouldn't be, tell them off. If they do not listen, move them off so they know you mean it. So there are my 10 basic commands. I hope you learn and utilize them with your dog. For more tips and training, please subscribe. If you found that video useful, please like and share. Bye for now.